President Martinez, board members, Dr. Aquino, and guests. I am Jamie Brown, the Director of Testing for San Antonio ISD. Along with Ms. Doyle and Ms. Rosenthal, we will be presenting the SAISD 2022-23 middle of year assessment results. Our agenda includes an update on MClass, the new Kinder BOY literacy screener, middle of year assessments, MAP K-8 data analysis, and STAAR redesign review. This is the first year that we are administering the MClass, the required beginning of year literacy screener for Kinder. Because the testing window closed later in the fall, we were not able to include this data in the beginning of year presentation. Since this is the first administration, we have no data for historical comparison. However, our data is very similar to national norms for the English version. Please note that students should take either English or Spanish version based on the SAISD bilingual assessment plan. The two middle of year assessments given are Circle for pre-K and MAP for grades Kinder through high school. These are the grades and subjects available for testing. Please note that Circle will be administered January the 11th to February the 10th. Please note that high school MAP will not be included in this presentation since their window is open through January the 6th. Participation rates remain high across Kinder through 8th grades.
This is Lisa Rosenthal. I am the Director of Accountability and Compliance for the district. The following slides will provide an overview of the MAP K-8 performance through 4 different lenses: performance by quintile, performance at Tier 1, projected growth, and projected STAAR performance. Overall, performance remains steady when comparing the middle of year data for 2022 and 2023. Please note that even just maintaining these levels does reflect an effort despite multiple barriers and challenges, both locally and experienced nationally. To improve instruction for students moving into the 23-24 school year, we will be developing reading and math advisory councils to refine the district frameworks, develop daily lessons for teachers to use as a resource, increase supports for tiered instruction to include high dosage tutoring, increase professional development for reading and math teachers, align the middle school math assessments to the middle school honors math courses, provide math manipulatives and reading activities for students to engage with at home during school breaks, and develop a summer academy for teachers. Performance by Tier 1 is provided for both reading and math. Bilingual students take MAP Math in either English or Spanish. However, bilingual students take MAP Reading generally in both English and Spanish. The combined English and Spanish data above reflects the best performance in either language. We've also included the English and Spanish results, which reflect all of the English or all of the Spanish tests taken. In addition, we have provided this data by grade level for both reading and for math. This slide includes information on the growth summary report for reading. It compares the observed growth for the district from the beginning of the year to the middle of the year by grade, and then compares those to national norms, which are set every year and reflect grade level growth norms. In comparison to last year, the grade level national norms actually increased on average, while our SAISD performance decreased. It is of note that in 2021, we had an exceptionally low performance, which was rivaled in 2022. In math, our data was much more similar from 2022 to 2023, although there were slight decreases in the national norms across the board. MAP middle of year data is often used to create STAAR projections to anticipate where we will end the school year on STAAR. Data is provided for the number of students that are going to reach approaches or higher, meets or higher, or the master's level. Historically, these projections are very conservative and run about 10 percentage points below the final scores, which are the actual STAAR scores, which appear in the black boxes. This difference may reflect either the conservative nature of the test and/or also include interventions that were provided to improve overall outcomes. It is clear that we do need to continue to focus on mathematics as a district. It is also important to note that MAP has not been able to redesign their projections based on the new STAAR redesign program. They will need to wait for this year's results. In addition to the K-8, we have provided data for approaches, meets, and masters by grade level for both reading and math for 2022 and for 2023.
This spring, we will be assessed on the new redesigned STAAR test. There are 4 new components that we will see implemented: greater access to accommodations through online assessment, new non-multiple choice items, cross-curricular reading passages, and embedded writing at all levels. These changes align with our already established high expectations for quality teaching and learning in the classroom. An online test administration will provide faster access to testing results, improve test operations, and provide broader access to content and language support for all students, particularly our struggling readers, emergent bilinguals, and students with disabilities. These supports include text-to-speech, pop-ups, rollovers, and pre-reads. While we are already familiar with online testing here in SAISD, we have continued to provide opportunities for our students to familiarize themselves with the online tools by administering our district assessments in Eduphoria, which allows us to closely mimic the features of the redesigned STAAR. Additionally, the state has provided lots of practice in Cambium, the STAAR testing platform, and we have taken advantage of this opportunity by having our students log in to experience the new item types and accessibility features. Here, you can see an example of an image that appears to clarify vocabulary used in the question stimulus and support comprehension of the question. New question types allow students to show their proficiency in multiple ways, not just multiple choice. We assess students in a lot of interactive ways, such as card sorts, quick writes, partner talks in the classroom. These new question types will provide an opportunity for students to demonstrate their learning more similarly to how they are expected to interact with content in the classroom. On the redesigned STAAR, no more than 75% of points on a test can be based on a multiple choice question. Therefore, at least 25% of the points on the test will be awarded through an interactive item type. Example 1 shows a multi-select where students must select up to 2 choices to get the item correct. Example 2 is an inline text that requires students to select an answer choice from a drop-down menu. Example 3 is a drag and drop where students must select and drag the correct answers into the appropriate text box. Please use the link below to see a description of all the possible new interactive item types. To prepare students to be successful with interactive item types, we have included new interactive item types in the assessment banks that are available to teachers. We continue to have them go to the Cambium website and have students practice the interactive item types there. And we also have integrated new interactive item types into the curriculum. The English and Spanish language arts test will now provide passages targeting cross-content literacy. Traditional instruction tends to silo content and not make connections between subjects. Our expectations for instruction is that we build background knowledge across subject areas with connected learning. In the redesigned STAAR, English and Spanish language arts passages will have the same cross-content connection. This will increase academic achievement by utilizing learning from other subjects. As you can see in this 5th grade reading language arts passage example, there are direct connections to the learning that occurred in the science classroom. Every grade level, grades 3 through English 2, for reading language arts and Spanish language arts where appropriate, will have writing assessed on STAAR. This will help improve writing skills across the board, which will contribute to increased readiness for college and career. In the past, the writing prompts were asking students to write about standalone and almost random topics. In the redesigned STAAR, students will write about the reading passages in the test, explaining how an author communicates a message and using textual evidence. The writing task will be more accessible because the background knowledge is included in the reading portion of the test.